At what age should you start thinking about your child's college education prospects? For an increasing number of parents, I mean a lot of them, planning starts even before their kid reaches age 2. Now, more than ever, parents are really worried about the preschool application process. They're concerned that if their child doesn't attend the right preschool, they won't get into the right feeder schools that will eventually get them into the right college. Preschool, by the way, it's not cheap, not at all. Tuition for your toddler can run as high as $20,000 a year. In fact, I was talking to one of our producers, $12,000 or $13,000, and that was subsidized by a company. Joining me now is parenting guru Betsy Braun. She is the author of several books, including Just Tell Me What You Want Me to Say, Sensible Tips and Scripts for Perplexed Parents. It's available online and in bookstores. The average customer review on Amazon.com, by the way, I didn't know this, 5 stars.
The book is brilliant because A, I've read it, and B, I think Betsy is a guru. And you know, I was panicked when it came time for going to preschool, and I was begging my husband not to embarrass us during the interview process, and we had to get all the application letters. And people panic over it.
We live in a city where there's a panic. That's why people call it preschool panic. The reality is there are not enough preschools, and there are a whole lot of kids, and we know now that nursery school, preschool and nursery school are the same thing, is really important. It's not mandatory. You don't have to do it. But when we send our kids to a preschool experience, it really does put them in a position to be more successful, to start out better, to grow socially and emotionally.
So it's not just crayons and Play-Doh and snack time.
Well, let's not just put down crayons and Play-Doh. There's a lot to be said for crayons and Play-Doh and snack time. There's a lot to be said for playing, because play is the foundation for the academic experiences that will come later. It is through play that young children learn, and it is very important.
But should parents be as worried as they are? Now, there's one thing to be worried, because if you're really on that, Ivy League track, that's a whole different category. But just parents who just want a good school for their 3 or 4-year-old.
There are a whole bundle of really good schools for kids, but let's not make the mistake of thinking there is a best school, that I have to get into this school because my kid won't go to the best elementary school, high school, college. Here's the thing of it. There is no such thing as a feeder school unless the nursery school is part of the elementary school, part of the high school.
Okay, some of the things that are really important, you say, to consider the location where you are. Why is that
so
important?
Well, in choosing a preschool, there are things you have to think about. Consider the location, because it's no good for kids to be in cars for a long time, or for you, or for the environment. You need to think about what is the philosophy of a nursery school. Every school has a different philosophy.
Give me an example.
Some might be more traditional, academic, having a lot of that academic experience. Some of them would be totally play-based. Some are in the middle. You have to figure out, what do you want? You don't know what's right for your child because, of course, he's only 3 years old.
I did developmental preschool.
Yes, you did.
Developmental. Okay. Also, you have to be like the director, right?
Well, you have to feel comfortable with the director, because she is not only the person who hires the teachers and sets the philosophy, and it could be a he, by the way, he or she. But not only that, this is the person who you're going to go to with questions. You're going to need to be able to relate, to complain, to get advice. So you have to be comfortable with the director. And finally, it's really important that you know what is the culture of a school.
What do you mean by that?
I'm not talking about ethnic culture.
No.
I'm talking about, do you feel aligned with the parents who go there? How do you find that out is a question parents wonder. So honestly, from when your kid is about 6 months old on, you start asking everybody you see, so where does your kid go to preschool? And you begin to get a handle on who is attracted to this school and who is attracted to that school. But it's a composite of all 4 things that make it a good choice.
And Betsy, finally, if your child doesn't get into the preschool you really wanted first, look parents in the eye and tell them that it's going to be okay. Would you?
It's going to be okay.
Oh, don't look at me, look at the camera. She knows I'm
okay. Because here's the thing of it. There is no such thing as a best preschool, and children learn a tremendous amount at the park, at the YMCA. There are public preschool programs at parks. There's programs all over the place. It doesn't have to be everybody's favorite.
All right. Betsy Braun, thank you.
My pleasure.
I hope everybody really listened and kind of breathed a sigh.
Yeah, and you know what, because you do, the thing is you do make friends for a lifetime. And that's what I found at our preschool. We travel with our friends from preschool.
Absolutely.
So you create, and that's a great bond for those kids.
And there's a final look at Betsy's book right there, by the way. Just tell me what
one
to say.
of two of her books.
Is that, yeah, just tell me what
one
to
of
say.
two.
Thank you again.